Did you ever hear about bizarre creatures emerging from the ocean depths, leaving even science mystified? And while we're on the subject, you've surely heard of the enigmatic heads from Easter Island. Interestingly, even with their renown, they remain a puzzle that science hasn't cracked. There's a long list of eerie findings and phenomena out there that continue to baffle researchers. In this video, we'll delve into some of the world's most unsettling mysteries that remain unsolved by science. Ready to dive in? Tenby Mystery. In 2013, Peter Bailey was walking his dog along a beach in Wales. Suddenly, the dog started barking and pulling him toward a strange object at the water's edge. Peter was amazed at what it found. It was an animal, which looked like a cross between a pig and a dog, but had sharp teeth and long claws. The man took several photos and sent them to experts, but the scientists couldn't come to a consensus. Some thought the pictures showed the body of a badger, while others assumed it was a dog, a bull terrier to be more precise. The problem is that the animal had obviously spent a long time in the water, and it's bad, because a long stay in a liquid environment can change a body beyond recognition. The giant from Acapulco. In 2016, an unusual event occurred in Acapulco, New Mexico. Strange creature was washed on the beach by the waves. Local residents quickly noticed the unusual object and went to study it, taking many pictures and videos. They didn't manage to identify the 4-meter monster because the body was decomposing very quickly. After a few hours, it bore little resemblance to a once living creature. Based on the samples and video recordings, biologists suggested that it could be a giant cephalopod, a class of mollusks to which giant squids belong, or even a whale. Interesting fact, despite the intense decomposition, the body did not emit an unpleasant odor. Is it possible that some sea creature previously unknown to science had been discovered in Mexico? James Mead, a curator emeritus of marine mammals at the National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C., does not think so. According to him, the shapeless pile on the beach is nothing more than a whale's head. But still, what are the chances that there are unknown species of this size in the ocean? Heads of Easter Island. Easter Island is a remote piece of land in the Pacific Ocean. Nevertheless, it is also known all over the world, and mostly because of its giant stone statues called moai. The history of the moai began in the 13th century, but not a single document mentions the huge statues. Who made them, when, and why? There are about 1,000 statues on the island, and most of them are near the shoreline. Scientists speculate that the heads were made by local tribes, and that their creation took place between 1250 and 1500 AD. One thing's clear: the level of engineering required to make and install each of these figures must be exceptional. The height of some of the statues exceeds 10 meters, and the heaviest of them weighs in at more than 100 tons. Moving one such statue would require the concerted efforts of hundreds of people. Every year, hundreds of tourists come to Easter Island. Many of them come here in hopes of solving the mystery of the stone figures, but so far none of them has succeeded. King Tut. The discovery of the untouched tomb of Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings in 1922 caused a real furor. It was one of the most important archaeological finds in history, shedding light on a then little-known period of the history of ancient Egypt. But the tomb raised as many questions as it answered. One of the main mysteries remained the cause of the pharaoh's death. Why did he die at the age of 19? There are many versions, although detailed analysis of the remains convincingly proves that the young pharaoh suffered from lots of diseases, ranging from circulatory disorders of the limbs and ending with an epilepsy. A mystery from the Amazon. It's difficult to say exactly who or what the creature in this man's arms resembles. A very old monkey? A bald sloth? This photo appeared on the internet in 2015, but no additional information was attached to it. Skeptics immediately declared the photo a fake, and with good reason. Why would the man having a smartphone with a camera start taking pictures rather than videos when encountering such an unusual creature? Besides, the limbs of the animal or the humanoid look like they were photoshopped. There are indeed many questions about the Amazon creature. But what can you say about this creature? This photo looks more convincing than the previous one. You can see the shape of the creature and even its shadow. What could it be? An unknown monster? A humanoid? Share your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned, because there are many more interesting things to come. Soon, you'll learn about the most mysterious diamond in history the Devil's Bible, and an alien found in the desert. Let's move on. Koh-i-noor. What's the most famous gemstone? This title has already been officially awarded to the diamond called Koh-i-noor. The stone, weighing 105 carats, is currently in the crown of Elizabeth II, the Queen of the United Kingdom. But how did it get there? The Koh-i-noor was already a gift to Queen Victoria in 1849. Before it came to Britain, it had an extremely convoluted and bloody history. The first documented mention of it is said that the stone gave its owner power and strength, but over the centuries, the Koh-i-noor has changed hands many times. Another legend has that the stone was bad luck for any man who ever dared to get a hold of it. The Koh-i-noor belongs in Britain because since the times of Queen Victoria, only women have carried the crown containing the stone. But what will happen if the curse of the stone comes back to force? Perhaps one day the truth will come out. Devil's Bible. The Devil's Bible, also known as the Codex Gigas or the Giant Book, it's a handwritten book created in the 13th century in Bohemia. It's not called giant for nothing. This book is 87 centimeters high, 49 centimeters wide, and contains 310 pages of text and illustration. If only one person worked on the manuscript, it would probably take 20 to 30 years to complete. Historians believe the volume was written by some Benedictine monk. By the way, this format of a religious book is not uncommon at the time. This is indicated by the tradition, which originated in Italy in the 11th century and later spread throughout Europe. At the time, it was decided to emphasize the importance of Christian treatises with the size of manuscripts. But why is the book called the Devil's Bible? The religious texts in it are Latin translations of the Bible and several canonical works, but there's no text on page 290 of the Codex. Instead, there's a detailed picture of the devil on the entire page. On the next page, for some reason, is a depiction of the structure of paradise. Since the discovery of the book, historians and philologists have argued about what this image means and why it appears in a strictly religious book. The theories have varied. Some people believe that the Benedictine monastery was inhabited by devil worshippers, and others believe that, in this way, the book's creator was trying to tell us the devil is much closer to paradise than we think. The monster from Canvey Island. In 1953, a creepy creature was washed up on the coast of Canvey Island in Great Britain. The fact that this happened before the internet age is considered by many to be a 100% guarantee of the authenticity of this photo. Biologists, to whom the creature came for study, were stumped. Externally, the sea creature resembled a very toothy flounder, but with legs. The final version was not put forward, however, it was decided to cremate the animal. A few decades later, another group of scientists started to examine the photos. Based on the external parameters, they suggest that the find might have been a fish known as the sea devil. But why didn't the scientists who were in close proximity to the creature in 1953 come up with this theory? After all, at the time the sea devil was well known as a species and genus of fish. Alien from the Atacama Desert. This skeleton was found in 2003 by an expedition in a remote town in Chile. The creature was dubbed Ata after the Atacama Desert where it was found. The length of the skeleton in these pictures is about 15 centimeters. In addition to the tiny growth, the mummy had other anomalies. For example, 9 pairs of ribs instead of the 12 supposed to a human being. Also, the skull of the skeleton was too elongated. What humanoid could have a body of such size? Experts from Stanford University have spent 6 months studying the discovery. They managed to figure out that the skeleton belonged to a living organism, but no one from the research team had ever encountered such anomalies of the body before, which is why the version of an alien origin was put forward. That's all, guys. If you believe that the remains of real aliens can be found in our planet, share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you later.